Hi, my name is Lynn, an HCI PhD student from Carnegie Mellon University. I'll be presenting our work Priorities, Technology and Power, Co-Designing an Inclusive Transit Agenda in Kampala, Uganda. For a bit of background, African ICTD researchers have long called out the HCI community for its lack of representation in both scholarship and the lived experiences of populations from the African continent. Persons with disabilities have even lower representation in this literature. Yet according to Kwenda, 80 million people across Africa self-identify as having a disability, and in Uganda specifically, that number is 1.4 million. Now, two research frameworks that promote representation in Global South contexts are the Value-Sensitive Design Framework and the Disability Interaction Manifesto. They draw on principles that investigate human values and participation as a means to understand concepts of dignity and fairness. These principles are the foundation of this research. In our study, we use qualitative methods to investigate the unmet transit needs of persons with disabilities in Kampala. For some more details about our study, we conducted two design exercises. The first, a magic wand exercise that asked participants what public transit challenges they would solve if they had all the money in the world. The second, a modified version of the stakeholder tokens method, where participants mapped out different stakeholders within the disability ecosystem. We had 6 participants who worked with persons with disabilities. 4 of them self-identified as having a disability, 2 with a mobility impairment, 1 who is deaf, and 1 who has albinism and low vision. To analyze the data shared by our participants, we used thematic analysis to identify categories within the magic wand exercise. And for the map generation exercise, we created an aggregate map that reveals standalone entities, core stakeholders, periphery stakeholders, and influential stakeholders. Our map artifact showed stakeholders such as families, traffic police, transit operators, and the technology startup community as having multiple connections. There were several entities such as government ministries that had fewer connections. Our participant insights resulted in multiple findings. In this presentation, we highlight 2 and invite you to download the paper to read more. Among items on participant wish lists were ideas of programs that promoted awareness within local communities. They expressed the emotional fatigue of having to deal with blatant disregard from other members of society. Our map exercise revealed the contextual nature of stakeholders in the ecosystem. Traffic police, public transit operators emerged as influential power brokers as they have integrated access to the lived experiences of persons with disabilities. Traditional stakeholders such as government entities were perceived to be on the periphery. So what are some of the implications of these findings? The focus on lived experiences revealed a redefinition of who qualified as symbolic and who had actual influence. Understanding these definitions are important for scholars seeking to figure out the underlying power structures that exist in communities beyond just recognizing traditional hierarchies. Noticeably absent were academic researchers. This raises 2 questions. Is there a current lack of accessibility research for the Kampalan context? Or is accessibility research that is relevant to the local context not readily shared with these populations? Participant insights also revealed an opportunity for researchers to investigate approaches to raising and promoting awareness on inaccessible infrastructure, as well as documenting experiences around conscious and unconscious bias. So in conclusion, this work makes 3 contributions to the HCI community. It engages and amplifies the voices of traditionally underrepresented populations. It identifies a new group of stakeholders in this domain and context that show the value of inclusion, mobility, and safety. And thirdly, it presents an invitation to explore an inclusive transit agenda through offering practical applications. Lastly, we'd like to thank our participants for taking time to participate in this study, our collaborators, as well as our sponsors. Finally, we thank you for your attention and invite you to download a copy of our paper.